Sometimes winning can be the worst outcome of a conflict. You secure the prize and defeat your opponent, but the cost of that success is so high that your triumph is a disaster. Today, we refer to this as a Pyrrhic victory. The name comes from King Pyrrhus of Epirus. In the early 3rd century BC, he was regarded as one of the most brilliant military minds in the ancient world. Pyrrhus was a relative of Alexander the Great, and he spent much of his life attempting to match that legacy. His primary ambition was to expand his power westward into new territories. His chance arrived in 280 BC. A Greek colony called Tarentum became embroiled in a dispute with the rising Roman Republic. Facing a superior force, the Tarentines asked Pyrrhus to cross the Adriatic Sea to defend them. Pyrrhus agreed, bringing the established Greek military system into direct conflict with the rising Roman legion. The war that followed would determine whether Greek influence would continue to dominate the region, or if the Italian peninsula would belong to Rome. In 280 BC, Pyrrhus marched his forces into the Battle of Heraclea. The Greek and Roman lines slammed into each other, and the fighting was immediate and brutal. Pyrrhus deployed a secret weapon the Romans had never encountered: 20 war elephants. These massive beasts charged the Roman lines, terrifying their horses and shattering their infantry formations. The elephants won the battle for Pyrrhus, but the aftermath of the fighting revealed a troubling mathematical reality for the Greek king. This chart shows the casualty data from the clash. The defeated Romans lost 15,000 men, but the victorious Greeks lost 13,000, a nearly 1-to-1 trade. For Pyrrhus, these numbers were devastating. The 13,000 dead included his trusted generals and nearly half his elite veteran infantry. On the surface, Pyrrhus held the field. But by trading so many of his best men for a single victory, he had already begun to weaken the core of the very army he needed to sustain his campaign. How did a defeated Roman army manage to inflict such massive damage on the victors? To understand the cost, look at the Greek phalanx. Men fought in tightly packed rows, presenting a wall of overlapping shields and forward-facing spears, relying on physical pressure. This density made the formation rigid, unstoppable from the front, but almost impossible to adjust position. The Roman legion was built for flexibility. Instead of long spears, they used the gladius, a short sword designed for close-quarters fighting in small, maneuverable units. As the phalanx pushed forward, Roman units would peel away and flank the Greek lines. They exploited the rigid formation, slipping past the spears to isolate Greek units and inflict heavy casualties. This exact dynamic repeated in 279 BC at the Battle of Asculum. Pyrrhus claimed another victory, but his elite army continued to bleed out against the flexible Roman infantry. This map illustrates Rome's ultimate structural advantage. Fighting on their own territory, the Romans had short supply lines and could immediately replace their dead with new recruits. Pyrrhus, however, was far from home and had no way to reinforce his dwindling numbers. Rigid military perfection can win a single day, but an adaptable system that can replace its losses will usually win a prolonged war. The breaking point arrived in 275 BC at the Battle of Beneventum. Pyrrhus's depleted, exhausted forces faced a fully replenished Roman army. By this point, the Romans had adapted. They successfully neutralized the war elephants, scaring the massive beasts and causing them to scatter back through Pyrrhus's own lines, causing total chaos. Out of irreplaceable men and having lost his momentum, Pyrrhus realized he could not win. He abandoned Italy and retreated to Greece. This retreat proved the Roman legion was more effective than the legendary Greek phalanx. With the Greeks gone, the Roman Republic was free to expand its control across the Mediterranean. King Pyrrhus left behind a lesson that became an idiom. True victory requires more than just overpowering your opponent. It requires surviving your own success with enough strength to fight tomorrow.